Madison County Live and Good News is brought to you by these great sponsors. Tell them you appreciate sponsorship of Good News in Madison County.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. We are so pleased to have Richmond Fire Department's Public Information Officer Corey Lewis joining us. Corey, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Colleen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. We know this is a busy holiday season and there is a lot of information we need to know to keep our families safe when it comes to fire safety. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Our firefighters are working every day diligently to keep this community safe during these holidays. And one of the things that we would like for everybody to take account of is when you're decorating this holiday season to ensure that you're doing it in a safe manner, in a manner that commemorates the holiday, but also doesn't burn your house down in the process.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think a lot of people associate home fires with cooking, which we'll be talking about in just a second. But tell us a little bit more about decorating. Maybe that's something that folks don't take quite as seriously. Sure.
So cooking is the leading cause of home fires in our nation, but around the holidays we do see an increase in fires related to holiday decorations. Okay. So a couple of the holiday decorations that are more problematic than others are when you're using lights to decorate the outside of your home, but those lights are not meant to be used outside. Oh. So there are different degrees of lights. Okay. There are lights that are meant to be used indoors, sure. Small strands, only a couple plugged in at a time, whereas when you buy a more aggressive light strand that's to be used outside, they're heavier duty wire, they're made to run more strands. So ensuring that you have the appropriate decoration lights in place wherever you're putting them is vitally important, and not overloading those electrical circuits with more than is recommended by the manufacturer on those lights as well. Where can folks find that information if they are purchasing lighting, or perhaps they're getting lighting out from the previous year? What should they look for? Oftentimes, if it's new, it's going to be on the package. Okay. So if you go to buy something this year, read on the package and it's going to give you recommendations. There's also probably an instruction packet that many of us throw away when we get that, that it will be on there as well. If you're using existing lights that you might have had for a number of years, we would encourage the viewer to go through, inspect those strands for frays, cuts, nicks. Also, there should be a tag on there that will have a little symbol of an underwriter's laboratory, a UL sticker, or some type of label that an independent inspecting company has said that this is safe to use in that environment. And it'll say that. That's something on the sticker, almost like you would see on a mattress, right? Sure. Do not remove tag, do not remove sticker. If you don't see that and there's any uncertainty about whether it is or it isn't to be used in outside or inside setting, don't use it. Don't use it. Yeah. Okay, very good. Now tell us a little bit about cooking. This is the time of year that we're enjoying those home-cooked holiday meals. What should we be careful of? So sure, most of our viewers have made it through the Thanksgiving season, hopefully without some type of incident. But we've gotten into the holiday. We're going to get together. We're going to gather with family again. Paying attention to what you're cooking. Paying attention and being in the kitchen when you're using any of the kitchen appliances that are heating food or baking food or broiling food, especially if you decide to fry anything on the stovetop. Sure. You know, we've talked before, but water is not appropriate to put out a grease fire. It will cause a larger fire in most cases and a bigger mess in the end. So we would encourage people to have a pan lid nearby, so you take that lid in the event you do overheat some oil and it starts to smoke or catches fire. You put the lid, smother the fire, and turn the burner off. That is the safest way to put out a grease fire inside the home. And as a precaution, if you do have some type of incident, we encourage you to always call the fire department. We would rather come out, help you ensure that everything is safe. There's no fire extension, say, behind any cabinetry or in the walls, so that an hour or two from now you don't have a larger incident because that fire could be hidden. We carry some very high technology tools that allow us to look behind walls without tearing them apart and inspect for hot spots via a thermal imaging camera. So we'll come out. We'd be more than happy to take a look for you and ensure that your home is safe in the event you do have an incident.
Corey, speaking of hot spots, it's a chilly time of year. We know that this is the time where sometimes space heaters come into play, especially if there's something wrong with the heat in the home and you have those guests coming over. What should people be mindful of?
I think as we see energy prices increase this year, we're certainly going to see the use of alternative fuel sources, whether that's people that put in gas logs for home heating, they're using a fireplace that they had many years maybe not used, they're also using propane, other space type heaters, electric type space heaters. We always encourage a 3-foot buffer around all of those, and in using those as designed. So oftentimes people will do things that aren't appropriate to heat your home. It's not okay to turn a gas stove on and then open the door because it's not vented appropriately to provide heat. It's also not appropriate to pull gas grills inside to supplement heat. Ensure whatever you're using is designed to be used indoors, and if there's any question, just don't use it. If there's any question about fireplaces, you can reach out and have your fireplace inspected. Anytime you're using alternative fuel sources to heat your home, we encourage individuals to have carbon monoxide alarm. It's something that you can purchase for relatively cheap at a hardware store, at Lowe's, at Walmart, and that will protect you from the emission of carbon monoxide in the burning process of those fossil fuels.
And the carbon monoxide detector is important because what? Are we as individuals able to detect that on our own?
We are not. So it is odorless, it is tasteless. You can't see it, you can't smell it. So that's important. Oftentimes you will hear someone reference, I think I smell carbon monoxide. What they're really smelling typically is the odorant from natural gas or propane. It does have an odor when it emits, it leaks. So when we get those calls and people say, I think I smell that, typically when we get there, we are looking for the smell of natural gas or propane. You cannot smell it. So, and it really asphyxiates an individual over time. It will cause a push of loss of oxygen in your body, depleted over time. You'll become lethargic, very tired, possibly have symptoms like the flu maybe, and you'll lay down because you think you need to rest. And unfortunately, in those instances, many of those individuals don't wake back up.
You know what? This has been so informative, and this is such a special time of year. We want to keep our families, our guests safe. For more information, Corey, where can folks go?
You can reach us at 859-623-1164 at our fire department, or you can also look for us on the City of Richmond's website. We're also very active on social media, our Facebook and our Twitter pages for information and special spots. And we try to share holiday information around this time so that people have a plan and they can be prepared before an emergency ever happens.
That's right. Very good. Corey, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
To you as well, ma'am.
Thank you so much for joining us. All right, we'll be right back.